USAB Girls Junior Nationals. The team on the far side in the black uniforms with the pink numbers and the pink libero jersey, that is Palm Beach Juniors 13 Elite out of West Palm Beach, Florida. And the team in the near side in the white uniforms with black numbers is OT13 Elite Doug out of the Florida region. So both teams from the Florida region getting ready to win a 13 national medal. Will it be gold? Will it be silver? They've won 2 matches this morning, and now they'll play their final matchup of the 13th year. And OT13 Elite Doug is going to be introduced first, and their first player is number 3, Naomi Chinchar. The libero is Lauren Donofrio. She wears number 2. Number 4 is Maddie Snyder. Number 5 is Allie Walden. Number 7 is Ezzie Thompson. Number 10 is Katie Royal. Number 13 is Autumn Martinez Robinson. Number 16 is Kiera Orbegoso. Number 20 is Lauren Lewis. And number 30 is Kinsley Warbritton. And the head coach in the black shirt is Doug Chinchar. His assistant coach is his wife of 18 years, Sarah Chinchar. And
now let's meet the ladies from Palm Beach Juniors.
There's an extra assistant on the bench. That may be a younger Chinchar. We're going to just take a guess it is. Now the team from Palm Beach Juniors, number 8, the captain, Kira Hodum. The libero, Marley Navarrete. She wears 16. Number 3 is Alexis Meyer. Number 4 is Lucy Marinella. Number 7, Alexis Terra Toredo. Number 14 is Abby Tennisketter. Number 17 is Peyton Bryant. Number 22 is Zoe Zudan.
Number 20, Morgan Madison.
Some of the numbers, well, 22 is, I missed Layla Johnson, number 21, and last but not least, number 20, Morgan Matson. And the head coach, Joy Van Dyke, her assistant, Emily Lampman, and assistant coach and stat man, David Johnson, and also on the bench, assistant coach, Carrie Bryan. A couple of the parents helping to contribute for Palm Beach Junior. Great Lake regions, Tyler Adams from the southern region, Betty Norman from the Lakeshore is the assistant scorer, the scorer Charlie Perkaiser from Florida, second referee Mike Cerny from the Chesapeake region, and the top man, the first referee, David Barnes from the Ohio Valley region, and David Barnes has the whistle, and he will get us started as soon as our PA announcer Mike Markham is complete, and here comes the whistle, and the teams are beckoned on to the Motown court for this 13 national gold medal match. Great to be here. We've got a couple of unique lineups. Coach Joy Van Dyke uses multiple people playing outside and right side, and then on the other side of the net, Coach Doug Chinchar uses a modified 4-2 with the center in the front row and 2 big middles that get set a lot. And we noticed that OT13 Elite Doug still has some Tootsie Roll Pops left for the team, their fellow Florida team. OT13 Elite Doug out of Tampa, Florida, part of that 6-facility OTVA system under Tanya Jarvis, owner Bob Grease. We got a good explanation. There are 3 facilities in Orlando, North, South, and Longwood. There's 2 in Tampa, and there's 1 in Sarasota. And so this is one of the 2 Tampa facility teams. And these girls, we talked to assistant coach Sarah Chinchar. This is their first big trip to Junior Nationals and the championship match. They don't have any history of gold medals in their past. And on the other side, it's Coach Joy Van Dyke, the daughter of the club director, Terry Kaiser, for Palm Beach Juniors. She is going for her first gold medal. She played for Palm Beach Juniors, and her assistant coach, Emily Lampman, played at 13s for Joy. So they go way back, the coaching staff on the Palm Beach Juniors side. And we are underway with the serve of Lauren D'Onofrio. And a down ball just sent over by Bryan, but that will not come back. So Peyton Bryan, excuse me, I think that down ball was sent over by Morgan Matson, number 28. The go-to hitter is Peyton Bryan, the 5'10 middle, and she's up there in the front row right now. And an ace serve before we could even identify her. Kira Hodem with the ace. First 2 points of set one in this 13National gold medal match go to Palm Beach. It's Palm Beach versus OT. And the high ball out to the left pin and sent over by Kinsley Warbrit. I think the block went into the tape, so it's a kill for Warbrit. And we've got to add something to our, we're missing a couple of heights, but we'll get them. We appreciate the head coaches sitting down with us and going over their roster, ripping off the hands. Number 22, Zoe Zudans, the 5'7" right side. So even though Coach Joy Van Dyke said she only hits right side, well, in that rotation, she's on the left. She takes one swing before she transitions over. Morgan Matson is the server, number 28. She'll play 2 rotations right side, 1 outside. Chinchar with the set to Maddie Snyder, her 6'2 middle. Then the ball goes over the block with a roll shot. D'Onofrio gets it up, and it's cleared out of the back row. And now the rejection. Maddie Snyder, the daughter of B.B. Walden, who played in the NBA, Allie Walden, the other middle, is B.B. Walden's daughter. Maddie Snyder's the taller of the 2 middles at 6'2". Coach Doug Chinchar said he uses his 2 middles constantly. Now he's shot down the line. Good to stay away from the middle for Alexis Meyer. She's 5'7", and she puts that ball away. Now we'll get a double sub in. So number 7, Alexis, we'll call her Lexi Toredo in. She's a 5'1" setter. Coach Joy Van Dyke uses a 6'2" system. Tough serve from Toredo and clearing deep, and it's interesting because Maddie Snyder is left-handed. She actually ran a backward slide approach over on the left pin on that ball. So Palm Beach with the early lead. Obviously these 2 teams know each other well. Snyder with the rip, but a dig from Navarrete. Another chance to set Snyder, and she tips left-handed and scores. So if you notice the lineup, Katie Royals is setting out of the right front. And she is going to Snyder or pin hitter as often as possible. The server is number 30, Kinsley Warbrit. Down the line, good pickup by Naomi Chinchar, the setter. This will come back as a roll shot from the back row. Royals is going to try the left pin, and attacking is Ezzie Thompson. Now another good swing down the line for Palm Beach. That was Alexis Meyer, but the put away goes down for OT. And I want to find my missing numbers on heights for OT. All variation in size and the tallest player on the floor. Oh, that ball might have been out, but now it's touched. A rejection against Maddie Snyder at 6'2" by the block for Palm Beach Juniors.
Serving for Palm Beach, number 4, Lucy Marinella.
I want to say Abby Tennisketter was somewhere in the middle of that block at 5'9", going up against the taller middle. And we're going to figure this lineup out eventually, but Lucy Marinelli, 5'1" DS is in. Ezzie Thompson is blocked, and it will come over for Toredo to set in a low set, and it does not go over for Kira Hodum. So let's pick up those heights.
Number 4, Maddie
Ezzie Thompson is about 5'10", and Kinsley Warbrit is 5'8". Those are the two outsides in this modified 4-2. Tight ball, and it will not come back. Low pass from Lucy Marinella, and so she immediately acknowledges to her teammates. The setter is Alexi Toredo in the middle. Snyder is the server. Lefties always have a tough serve. Put a little reverse spin on it. Now the big double block, and no lift called on the cover, so we play on. Pushed out to Ezzie Thompson, and she rips it, and OT has caught up. It says OTVA here on the scoreboard, but technically it's OT13 Elite Doug out of Florida. Both coaches for OT have played some college volleyball. We'll talk about them when we get a chance during a timeout. Good up by the libero, Navarrete, and going over the top of the block and out, Alexis Meyer. So Meyer hitting over on the right, and over here on the left, it's Kira Hodum. Let's see if Hodum gets this next ball. She does, and she drives it off of hand, so a good adjustment by Lexi Toredo.
Number 16,
both setters go 5'1", so they don't see any action in the front row for Joy Van Dyke. Her 15th season with the club, going for her first ever goal. Shot down the line, nice pickup in the backcourt by Azudans, and then was that tooled off the block? No, it was tooled in. Line judge Tyler Adams from the southern region with the flag. So a rejection by OT gives them the serve back. Tipped it, it's a great tip. Good job from Morgan Madsen to get the tip over the top of the block. Now the double switch again. So Peyton Bryan, 5'10", into play middle, and Layla Johnson, 5'1" setter, in to run the offense. And she will be the server. We had the cutest division in volleyball yesterday. We have some 5'1" players, but we still have 5'1" players in 13 volleyball. Hitting air for Peyton Bryan. Palm Beach likes to set Bryan whenever possible. Her mom, Carrie Bryan, played middle hitter at Georgia Tech. She's over on the bench helping out with the coaching staff, making sure everything's correct. The libero, Lauren Donofrio, she's wearing the Navy libero uniform with the beautiful stripe, red, white, blue. And there's Bryan ripping out on the left pin. So I would say the goal for Palm Beach Juniors next year, find a 6-foot middle and turn Peyton Bryan into an outside hitter, because we know she can hit on the left pin. We watched some of their earlier matches, and you could set Peyton Bryan out on the left pin all day. The server, number 8, Kira Hodum. Ball goes out to the left pin and just saved over by Kinsley Warbrit. Now that's a tight set. Nobody's going to be able to get that ball. But you know what? No, it was not contacted.
Ball out, point Palm Beach.
Oh, it was contacted out. So the blocker, I think that ball was never going to make it over. And the blocker went up I think it was Naomi Chinchar. And head coach Doug Chinchar wants to know what happened. And I'm with him because I couldn't exactly tell. Now a tip over, and that will score for Peyton Bryant. When in doubt, if Peyton Bryant's in the front row, which he is for 3 rotations, why Palm Beach Juniors tries to find her. Odom with the serve. And then Snyder out of the back row. And here comes a chance to set Walden. No, they can't get it to her. Now it's tied up, and that ball can't be saved. If you as a setter wait till it gets below the net, why, it gets very difficult.
Number 13, Anna Martinez.
Maddie Snyder steps into the front row. So from 5'11" up to 6'2", both middles, a big part of the offense and defense for OT. Ball hit over the top of Snyder. She'll get the swing left-handed. Oh, doesn't have to. Now there's a great tip from a middle. We teach right-handed middles to tip to their right, but a lefty middle even has an easier tip, and she was able to see the opening beyond the block of Peyton Bryant. Chance to run Bryant on the high ball in the middle, and she's able to get it past Snyder, but it will come back thanks to the defense. Key Obagoso. Now that ball might have been 4 contacts. Well, they're going to say it was blocked and not cleared. So a good touch up by Maddie Snyder. Martinez Robinson. She's got a tough one. It'll come back free from the libero, Navarrete. Now we're going to see Snyder hit, and she hits in. So no conventional systems for head coach Doug Chinchar. He's got a left-handed middle, and he runs a 4-2. He lets his daughter set, Naomi. She's up in the front row right now. She's playing up. She can play 12s, but she's playing for her dad in 13s. As someone who coached my daughter for 7 years, and she was a setter. I love that combination. Good shot again. Maddie Snyder knows how to find the court. We're going to get a timeout taken by head coach Joy Van Dyke for Palm Beach. So in the near court, you can see Doug Chinchar. He's in the black shirt, and his wife, Sarah Chinchar. So Doug played for the Ohio State University. He was a setter for Pete Hansen, the legendary Hall of Fame coach for the Ohio State University Buckeyes, and his wife, Sarah Chinchar. She's in the gray t-shirt. She was a setter at USF, so guess which position Naomi Chinchar, who wears number 3, plays. Let's see, Dad was a setter, D1 volleyball. Mom was a setter, D1 volleyball. I think Naomi should play setter, and she is. And she just gives a high five to Maddie Snyder. And we'll talk about the Palm Beach Juniors coaching staff when they're in the near court. Easier to see them. Here's a set to Bryant, rips it off of hands and in. Perfect call by head coach Joy Van Dyke off the timeout. She gets the needed side out. OT has been very strong in the younger age brackets for many years, particularly 13s, 12s, and 11s. Can OT13 Elite pick up a gold medal? They can't handle the serve of Morgan Madsen at 5'10". Madsen with an excellent serve. Bryant still in the front row for one more rotation. This serve will go up to Snyder. Bryant gets a touch, but nobody behind her able to pop up the ball off the hands. So another kill by Maddie Snyder. As we're going to see Katie Royals back in to set in the front row. Key Barbagoso off. She plays back row for Katie Royals. Those two are linked up. Katie Royals now into set. Her dad, Mark, a punter for the Bucks. Might have been 15 that Coach Doug Chinchar said. So a lengthy punting career for dad Mark. Now another ace serve, back-to-back aces for Naomi Chinchar, the coach's daughter. Another good tough serve, but handled by Palm Beach Juniors. Now Chinchar with the dig, and because they're in the 4-2, that's where the system that Doug Chinchar runs works perfectly. Naomi Chinchar just focused on her defense because she doesn't have to set, so she gets that ball right to Katie Royals, who feeds Maddie Snyder for the kill. Off the transition play, and then missing Ryan from way over on the right, trying to run a slide, and we're going to get a second and final timeout taken by Palm Beach Juniors. They're right on the sideline, so you may be able to see them on camera. We're just going to go with the tallest coach with the Breathe, Believe, and Battle shirt on is Carrie Bryant. David Johnson in the black. Joy Van Dyke, who played at Palm Beach Atlantic as a DS. She said, I played before there was a libero. And her assistant coach in pink is Emily Lampman, who plays NAI volleyball at St. Thomas of Miami. And as we mentioned, played 13s for her head coach, Joy Van Dyke. I haven't had any of my players come back to be my assistant coach, but I think I kind of like that, although I'd rather they were the head coach and I was the assistant. Libero right in the middle of the service receive, that's Marley Navarrete, but it goes to the right side of the receive, and it lets Palm Beach Juniors feed Peyton Bryant over on the right side. So Peyton Bryant's going to come off, get a high five from her mom. Now she's off for 3 rotations, so it's up to Abby Timsketter to step up. Served by the setter, Toredo. And then the ball cleared over. Tight ball, and attacking into the net is Alexis Meyer at 5'7". A lot of blockers' hands in front of her. So OT, 13 Elite Doug, comfortable lead. Server is Kinsley Warbrit. And again, good right side connection this time. Zoe Zudans. 5'7" right side with the put away.
Zudans will serve.
And Zudans
service error, point OT.
sends it long.
Number 4, Maddie Snyder to serve.
So Maddie Snyder to serve, and now we do indeed see Allie Walden, 5'11" middle in. Oh, the block went in the net.
Point Palm Beach.
Kira Hodem had just cleared that ball, and the block went in the net. Really no need because OT had it under control. The libero, Deanna Frio, gets up a quality pass, but a long hit from Ezzie Thompson. As they said on the British broadcast of the U.S.'s gold medal match, she overcooked it. She overcooked that one. Not a term I've ever used in volleyball, but we learned it the other day when we watched the U.S. win the gold medal over Turkey in the Volleyball Nations League gold medal match. Congratulations to Karchkirai. So, head coach Doug Chinchar not happy with a little bit of momentum from Palm Beach. He's talking to his girls, his wife, Sarah. She's going to stand and he's going to sit. And there is still that young person. We've got to identify her, who the extra coach, actually she's down with the players. I'm going to guess a younger daughter, but we'll try to find out. So the missed serve gives head coach Doug Chinchar exactly what he wants. He's won gold medals before with other clubs, but he's going for his first with OT. Out of the Tampa area. Shot coming and scoring. That was not a perfect pass nor a perfect set, but Morgan Madsen put it away, and it lets the key hitter for Palm Beach Juniors return, Peyton Bryan. Number 17, they list her at 5'10". Let's see, on the other side, Allie Walden at 5'11". I would say they are probably both 5'11" or maybe taller. One thing about this age bracket, there's still chance for those numbers to change. That ball tipped over. Actually, Ezzie Thompson at 5'10", so maybe that number is accurate. Walden at 5'11" and Thompson at 5'10". I want to make sure we get those heights right. So this is that formation. And I think it's just going to be a ball to Allie Walden if OT gets a pass, but they don't. Snyder stays on as a passer, and we're going to get a timeout as Palm Beach has cut the lead to 2. And they are breathing, believing, and battling, as it says on Coach Kerry Bryant's shirt. So in the near court, Doug Chinchar. He's got some specific directions for how he wants to handle this next serve. At this point in a set, 2-point lead, you're going to either be up 3 or up 1. So these are the real crunch points. So the front row is shifted over. It's kind of a unique formation. It looks like Allie Walden, who's in the front row, is actually part of the serve receive. Let's see if Palm Beach Junior serves at Walden. You've got 2 middles passing, basically. But it's going to go off Donofrio, and then a tight ball. That's all clean, I think. No, they're going to say the setter, Katie Royals, got the tape. Second referee made that call right away, Mike Cerny from the Chesapeake region. If you know all the regions, you know your geography. Now a good up by Snyder, and then it's just cleared. I think it was set over by Walden. Now Walden gets up with Royal, and the swing over in the left pin by Morgan Madsen goes through. So we're going to get a defensive specialist into the game early. Actually, I guess she's going to be in the front row. Autumn Martinez-Robinson, 5'6" DS, is actually now a hitter. This should be interesting. I think they want to get the ball to Ezzie Thompson. No, they're going to set Martinez-Robinson, and she gets, oh, they're going to say she went into the net. First referee looks, he's going to give a replay. So he believes something occurred, and now that hurts OT. Because they had the point, I think. I think that ball was going down on the swing from Autumn Martinez-Robinson. She's actually in at outside hitter. Unless that was Naomi Naomi Chinchar is back row. No, she is front row. So they have completely confused me with their modified 4-2, and it doesn't matter. The tip goes down for Kira Hodem, and all of a sudden, Palm Beach has the lead. So Royals is actually back row, and number 3, Naomi Chinchar, who took that swing, not Autumn Martinez-Robinson. Now Autumn Martinez-Robinson, who was indeed front row, but not the attacker. 3 and 13 on the far side, a little tough to distinguish. So now we've got a little conversation between the second referee and the head coach. Doug Chinchar trying to get a side out, get this one even at 25. So the setter in the back row is Royals. And she's going to set Walden, and she sends it over, but the dig by Navarrete, and then Bryan gets a swing. Snyder picks it up. They're going to try Walden, and she scores. So, perfect time to mention B.B. Walden, the dad of Allie Walden. Apologize for that previous mix-up. My notes are written down. Looks like 2 subs left for head coach Doug Chinchar. He's used 10, and his libero Lauren Donofrio will be serving. This will go to Bryan. Ooh, no touch. Oh no, a touch. Called by our line judge behind the plate, which is where the call should come from. Tyler Adams out of the southern region saw a touch. And we're going to get a little discussion, be our first referee, David Barnes, and our libero, who must be at least one of the 2 captains. And we're going to get the other line judge, who is Catherine Bates from the Great Lakes region, brought over. So the first referee, I think in this case, is not 100% convinced there was a touch. And no matter how this call goes, second referee thinks there was a touch. So they're going to give the touch, and Palm Beach Juniors has a set point.
The point has been awarded to Palm Beach.
And I know what Doug Chinchar's thinking. Phantom touch. His captain, his daughter Naomi, over to talk to the first referee. So let's take a look at the serve receive for OT. Line judge saw it. Second referee, I think, is the person helping the first referee make the decision. So, you know the old saying, the ball never lies? We'll find out. Palm Beach with a chance to win set 1. And that ball is coming back as a free ball. Chance to set Bryan. And they do, and she buries it. So the first set goes to Palm Beach by a score of 25-23. Well, I have a feeling these teams have played before, and I got the impression from Joy Van Dyke that OT won. Now, OT's going to transition over. As no Motown music being played here on Championship Court. The team in the near court, you probably can see most of them. Head coach Joy Van Dyke, the daughter of the club director, Terry Kaiser, in her 15th season, up a set. Everything working for the team from West Palm Beach. I asked him what their hometown was. It said Boynton Beach on the program directory, but she said West Palm Beach. Championship court, our last final of the day. 13 USA and 13 13 USA and 13 American on the other side. And we were correct. Lydia Chinchar is on the bench. We want to give credit to Lydia. She's over there helping out. So we're going to call Lydia Chinchar the extra coach on the bench. the second assistant to head coach Doug Chinchar, his daughter Lydia. And Naomi's sister too. Naomi, the setter for OT. So let's see how OT responds. They have a unique system, but they've got a lot of height and talent in the front row. And they try to take advantage of it. Coach Doug Chinchar said, we have 2 tall middles and we set them all the time. And that's called using a system that works for your roster. Don't take Maddie Snyder, who's a lefty, and put her over on the right. Let her go up in the middle. She already showed me that even as a left-handed middle, she can see some angles out there. I'm going to have to send a message cross court to our bumper music to play some Motown. We're in Detroit. We're not hearing enough Motown. So 1 set in the books. It was a tight one as Palm Beach Juniors prevailed 25-23. Let's see what the first 10 points bring for OT. It came down to a very close touch call that went Palm Beach Juniors' favor. We'll see how they respond as the setter, Layla Johnson, puts it in play, and Walden cross court, and that will not come back, so that's the start. That's the start that head coach Doug Chinchar wants, as he's going to sub in Autumn Martinez-Robinson for Allie Walden.
Returning for OTVA, number 13, Autumn Martinez.
And he starts 1 rotation back so he can get Maddie Snyder in the front row as quickly as possible. Maddie Snyder wearing the blue headband. Always good if you're going to be on the. Oh, now the overpass. Brian can't put it down. Kept alive by some defense. I think that was Chinchar from her center position. Then the libero, Donofrio, clears. Now that ball just chipped over by Brian, and she's going to get up against Snyder, and she blocked it along with Kira Hodem. Snyder couldn't get a good rip. I think Hodem got the most of that ball on the double block. And she will now go back and serve, 5'8" outside hitter. You've got a 6'2" middle on the other side. Good to get 4 hands up against her. And Snyder is the passer, and the ball is tooled off the block. Great swing. Kinsley Warbred. Now returning is the setter, Katie Royals. The DS, Key Orbegoso, comes off. Her full name, Kiara, but they call her Key, and an ace serve right away. Naomi Chinchar, as we mentioned, playing up. She could be on a 12s team. But when your dad's set in college and your mom's set in college and they're your coaches, you might want to hang around with them. It's a family affair for the Chinchars on championship court. Now the block, Snyder got a piece of that ball. And then Snyder gets a piece of the one on the other side from Zudans. Now Zudans forced to roll, and Snyder hits it. Now there's a play you don't see very often. The dig by the offside hitter who puts it up perfectly. Give an assist to Katie Royals on that play. Actually, it wasn't Royals, it was Warbred, the offside hitter. And then Snyder with the put away on 2. That ball could have been called a double, wasn't, so it leads to a solo stuff block by Maddie Snyder. All's well that ends well for OT. Good pass by Navarrete, and Brian tips out of the middle. Kept alive by Royals and sent over. Now another tip, this one, Martinez Robinson with the pickup. Snyder sent it over. Down the line, defense being played by OT. Oh, Chinchar wants it back. So the setter, Katie Royals, instead of going up to Maddie Snyder, decided to set her fellow setter, Naomi Chinchar. Chinchar caught the tape. Still OT out to a good start. We could be headed for 3. Warburton from over on the right, and then the defensive save by Snyder. And the put away from the left pin. Alexis Meyer with the kill. Maddie Snyder with the self-defense cover as the ball almost hit her in the face. She got her hands up and it blocked over. So a nice play, but it comes right back for a kill for Palm Beach, and their server continues to be Morgan Madsen. Snyder, another quality up. She'll get it back, and she rips it off the block, but it is Doug, the setter, with the save. Johnson. They're going to go Snyder again, and this time power push, and she scores.
Points OTV.
Nice sequence for Maddie Snyder. The 6th rotation. Basically, she never comes off the court. So Ezzie Thompson returns at 5'10", and the server is Kinsley Warburton. And Palm Beach gives a free ball, but then Warburton can't play it up, so they give it right back, although it'll come back on a roll shot and missing.
Points OTBA.
So Warburton, Coach Doug Chinchar, he can't believe that 3 ball wasn't handled correctly. Now the ace serve. I think you got to give Kinsley Warburton credit. She made up for it with that ace serve. And now we're going to get that first timeout taken by the team in the near court. That is the Palm Beach Juniors 13 Elite. We've got an all Florida region here from Motown. So it gives us a chance to mention Joy Van Dyke. We want to give a shout out to her husband, Jesse, back home with the boys. Tristan is 6 and Sawyer is 1. We believe Tristan will hear his name being called on the broadcast here on the USAV.org web stream. So Coach K saying hi to Tristan, age 6, and also to Sawyer, age 1. He might be napping. And then Dad Jesse, husband of Joy Van Dyke, and son-in-law of the club director, Terry Kaiser. Volleyball's such a family affair, so Dad and the boys back home, we hope they're tuned in. We hope we sound good. Shot from the right side. Who else but Brian? It will come back. Solid defense. I think Warburton got that first one, or it may have been Chinchar over on the side. Now the big swing by the lefty. Oh, but it's saved back, and then Snyder sends it back with her right hand or offhand, and Brian scores. So probably that free ball that came back to Snyder should have been controlled and played up to the center, because then you get Maddie Snyder swinging instead of chipping. Peyton Bryan. No all-tournament teams at this age bracket, probably the best. But remember that name, Peyton Bryan. Maybe she's going to go to Georgia Tech like her mom. I'm sure the coaches know about her. We haven't seen the coaches on 13s, but boy, on 14s and 15s, they're everywhere. The scoring shot from the left pin for, I want to say Alexis Meyer. I think it was, because Zoe Zudance, double Z, or Z2. Zoe is mishandled shots, and the server will continue to be Alexi Toredo, the 5'1" setter. Now the set to Snyder, and this time she's on the right. We're going to get the lift call, and that is the correct call. So Snyder in that formation lines up over on the right, and she takes a swing as a lefty likes to do, and now she becomes the server. So yeah, we're seeing a preview of some future college players when we see Maddie Snyder and Peyton Bryan. Oh, that ball covered accidentally and then hit into the tape. Abby Tennisketter was in good position, but the ball basically bounced off her. Tennisketter at 5'9". Snyder to serve again. Those lefties have such tough float serves. Rolled over, Tennisketter, who plays back left defense, gets it up, and it's a shot right on the end line. Line judge Catherine Bates with the call, and it's a kill for Walden. Walden at 5'11", remember that name, Allie Walden. We get a good look at Naomi Chinchar. She's back left right now, going to transition over to her back right position. And she's got that calm, confident look on her face of what we like to call a gamer.
Points OTVA.
She's very comfortable, even though she's down a set, she's very comfortable that she's going to be able to force a 3-set match. She goes over and visits with her libero, Lauren Frio. Got to keep everybody engaged as the captain. Royal sets Walden in the middle, and it's a kill.
Allie Walden. Points OTVA.
The other thing that Chinchar, even though she's not the setter playing back right, she's in a defensive role because everything goes up to Royals in the modified 4-2. Good serve by Snyder deep. She's calling for the ball. Now the ball skips off the tape, and Palm Beach Juniors in big trouble. We're looking seriously at a 3-setter unless they stage a miracle comeback. We saw it in our 13 Open gold medal match. Dynasty was down 14-7 and came back to win set 2, but then they dropped the deciding set. So congratulations to TAB and head coach Corinne Atchison on the gold medal. A miss hit down the line. We're going to get a second timeout by head coach Joy Van Dyke. All of her assistants in the picture. Want to mention her mom, Terry Kaiser. I think she's joined them on the bench. She's in the white. One of the dads, David Johnson, father of Layla Johnson. He's the stat man. Carrie Bryant also helping out, the mother of Peyton Bryant. And then the first assistant coach, Emily Lampman. She's in pink. I think you can see her. And the head coach in gray in the center of that huddle. I asked her if she played middle hitter in college, but she knew I was kidding. She played defensive specialist. So Doug Chinchar getting some folks coming back while he's trying to coach, congratulating him, giving him a hug. Got to be ready as a coach to acknowledge all those folks that want to visit with you. Good up by Naomi Chinchar. She wants it back, but the libero takes it away from her. Donna Frio. And now we're going to get a double contact on the set. I think it was Lexi Torredo. So a 10-point deficit, now to timeouts for Joy Van Dyke. At this point, Palm Beach needs some momentum to get ready for set 3 because it's almost impossible to overcome a 10-point lead in the rally scoring era. And the ball off of tape. Ellie Walden will take it. Not the perfect combination. Doug Chinchar said, we've got 2 big middles and all we do is set them. You also serve tough, and that's Maddie Snyder, who has a terrific jump float, almost a hybrid serve. It almost has a little bit of spin on it. Let's see this time. No, that one just floated. Handled nicely in the backcourt by Hodem. And then a ball off the block, and it will not come back, so I think it's Alexis Marinella. She's a DS for 22, Zoe Zudans. Marinella with the tough task of serving 11 points down. She's got a rich roll, certain number of bounces. Jump float goes at Chinchar. She's a passer in that formation. Now a sprawling dig by Navarrete. Then a free ball comes over. And perfectly set. to the middle. We saw Maddie Snyder do that. Now we see Allie Walden with that little tip to the right.
Number 10, Katie Royals will
Take a look at the block. Notice there's no one to your right, and just tip it to the pink part of the sport court. Low toss, low serve for Katie Royals. And let's see, I think Coach Doug Chinchar has crossed me up a little bit. He's got his daughter Naomi hitting out on the left pin as Royals is the setter in back right. So a little bit of a shift out of the 4-2 to a more conventional 6-2. Chinchar's going to get the swing, and she goes over the top. It may not come back. It will. Cleared by Toredo, and then the traditional set from Chinchar up to Walden. So on serve receive, Chinchar is a passer and a hitter, and then she'll go to that right front position and try to set Walden, but no need to do any of that as the easy side out on the missed serve. OT up 20-9. There's a ball rolling onto the court, and the libero sees it, Lauren Donofrio. And she pointed it out to the first referee. Not sure where that one came from. We're here at Championship Court. We don't really have a court next to us. The server is Donofrio, and she serves just long. She's the smallest player on the floor. They list her at 5'5". Smallest player for OT. A couple of 5'1" setters and a 5'1" DS for Palm Beach Juniors. And one of those 5'1" players, Layla Johnson, back to serve. We had a 5'1" coach yesterday in Will Wong of the gold medal winning San Gabriel Elite in 11th, the cutest division in volleyball, but this one's pretty cute. The 13s, these young ladies are really mastering the game. Allie Walden with that kill. This is, I call it, the hardest year of volleyball. You have to go up to the regulation ball, no more volley lights, and you get the full 7'4" net. So no break for the 13s division. This is the same volleyball they'll play the rest of their lives. Into the net. Tried to cut it around Snyder and missed. That's what the block of number 4 will do. Ooh, that was a unique serve by Autumn Martinez Robinson. And a kill on the right pin. I think it was Kira Hodem. And even though he's up 22-11, head coach Doug Chinchar not happy with the defense on that ball off the tape. Kira Hodem is the server. She plays nothing but outside. Snyder will get a high ball in the middle off the platform of Chinchar. If you've got a system, use it. Naomi Chinchar, low pass, so she just used her platform and put up a high ball for Maddie Snyder. Good up by Hodem. And a swing in the middle by Bryan, and it's a solo stuff block from Maddie Snyder. So OT up 24-11, set point. They're going to try, well, it'll go as a free ball. Snyder will see the third ball for sure. She tips, good pickup, and then Snyder blocks the tip from Bryan. A good read by Morgan Madsen to pick up that first tip from Maddie Snyder. And all of a sudden, the momentum is all with OT as they win it 25-11. So we are getting ready for set 3. The captains, Naomi Chinchar, number 3 in white, and Peyton Bryant number 17 in black, shaking hands. Two teams from Florida who have to know each other. Let's see if they're going to stay on the same sides they are. We're going to let the officials the line judges, they've been working hard. We're going to let them have a seat. That's Tyler Adams taking the seat from the Southern region, Catherine Bates from the Great Lakes region. They didn't have any, they had one controversial call. I won't say they didn't have any. They had one controversial call in that first set, but the ball never lies, and Palm Beach got the next point, so the call must have been correct. Set number 3 coming up. Teams are going to stay on the same sides. Palm Beach Juniors. Coach Joy Van Dyke gave me a little insight. She said, we've got an all-Florida final, and she said, sometimes we struggle with teams from Florida, play better against teams from other states, almost a psychological thing. So we'll see how this one plays out. Certainly the first set, Palm Beach Juniors played strong, but in the second set, it was all OT. Teams back on the court. We'll see if anybody spins the dial and changes their starting lineup. We saw head coach Corinne Atchison do that for TAB, and it worked as they won the deciding set to win the gold. Players on the floor. Got to mention Kinsley Warbridge. She's got the pink headband, which goes perfect with the championship court. We're going to have a discussion. Mike Cerny probably wants to know the captain or something like that. There's a number maybe that's not correct. So, head coach Doug Chinchar, I think it may have been just named the captain, which should be his daughter Naomi, if I'm not mistaken. Libro's getting ready to be released in. The Libro in the near court, she picked the right jersey to wear today. Marley Navarrete in the pink, so she matches the court in the front row, but she spends most of her time in the back row. And assistant coach Emily Lampman out there with some special words for Kira Hodum. Remember, this is 13s volleyball. None of these players have a gold medal in their resume, so for both of them, their first experience on championship court. Assistant coach Sarah Chinchar said for a lot of these OT players, it's their first really big year of playing volleyball. And they're in a gold medal match, so that has to be fun. It has to be fun for the parents. Not as big a crowd here at this point. This is the day we say goodbye to the 12s. Tomorrow it gets very exciting. Let's see, today's the 2nd of July. Tomorrow, the 3rd of July, we have the 17 Open gold medal match at noon, 17 National at 1:30, and 17 American at 3. And I'll be wearing the big game pants because 17 Open is indeed the big game. Right now, the big game for OT and for Palm Beach Juniors is this third set. And we're going to see Bryant, and there was a touch, maybe by the block, maybe by the Libro, it doesn't really matter. A kill for Peyton Bryant. No volleyball.
Number 8, Kira Hodum to serve.
So Kira Hodum is the first server for Palm Beach. First 5 points, first 8 points. My 2 milestones in a 15-point deciding set. Good to serve by Odom, but Snyder up to the task. Warbridge off of hands. Good cover. Walden, and then Chinchar tries to go over on 2. Not a bad idea, but not executed. She's live in the front row. And as a good captain does, she just moves on to the next point. That's what you do in volleyball. Don't dwell on the last one. Snyder with the up. And the shot cross court for Walden. And then the big block, Warbrin and Walden. That's the double W's.
Number 13, Autumn Martinez Robinson.
And
returns for
Autumn
OT13
Martinez Robinson. We'll have to call her AMR. AMR back to serve. Jump float serve and a tough one. She's used the entire back of the jersey. She's got all of Martinez Robinson, hyphenated name, on the back. And she's got Palm Beach all even. Let's see if she can go that same location in front of the libero. Ooh, that was so close to an ace. Caught the tape, hung there for a second and dropped. The libero leaves Navarrete, and returning in the front row is Alexis Meyer. She'll play 2 outside, 1 right side if Palm Beach Juniors using their same. One inside the sideline. Line judge Catherine Bates with the call. Want to mention our scorer, Charlie Perkaiser, and our assistant scorer, Betty Norman. They don't get enough recognition, but they keep all this straight, and they've done a good job on the scoreboard. No parents yelling, score, score. That only happens with flippers. Oh, now Chinchar trying to go cross court, and she misses wide left.
Service error, points Palm Beach.
But now Bryant comes off, Paige Bryant, and she'll be replaced by the setter, Lexi Torado. And also departing is Layla Johnson, as she has her sub with Abby Tennisketter. Snyder with the pass and the swing. I once saw an NCAA championship where Uganda Numati got set on. Keogh was the setter, and I think she was on strict orders to only set Uganda Numati. Well, this reminds me a little bit of that. The setters for OT when Snyder's in the front row is find number 4. Tennisketter, she didn't get all of that one, but she got the kill. Abby Tennisketter, her hands were up and they just didn't quite snap, so the ball looped a little bit, but it still dropped. Doug Chinchar with some advice for his back row players. He was free ball dropped. Now the servers, Lucy Marinello, the DS, at 5-1, 1 of 3 5-1 players. That's a good serve, good time for Chinchar to pick it up, and she'll attack out of the back row, and she misses wide left, says my fault. Goes back to her position. Love the game face on Naomi Chinchar. Her intensity is obvious. Now an errant serve. Oh, it's called in. Line judge with the call, Tyler Adams, and head coach Doug Chinchar is going to take a timeout because we're all the way up to 7. We mentioned the first 5, the first 8. Well, Palm Beach still on serve with a chance to cross over at 8-4. You can see Doug Chinchar in the black. He's got his players' attention. They are the taller team, but right now, Palm Beach doing some effective things from the service line and taking OT out of system. One thing that Palm Beach has done, they lost that second set by a score of 25-11, but they have completely forgotten about that set. So no matter how much you fall behind in that score in that second set, you started 0-0. Good up by Chinchar. Snyder coming from the right side, but she's dug. Will it come back? It will not. A kill for Maddie Snyder, just what Coach Chinchar needed off that serve. And it started with a pass by his daughter, Naomi.
Number 4,
Walden returns to the front row. 6 rotation, middle hitter, Maddie Snyder to the back row. Swing over on the left pin and looping it long. Kira Hodem didn't get the wrist snap, and I think we're going to see a timeout. And I'm not sure the score. 4. Yeah, I think it's 7-6. The scoreboard here is backwards. It should be Palm Beach 7 and OT 6. And one more point and they'll have it fixed. There we go. And now head coach Joy Van Dyke may take a timeout, but she's not going to. Sometimes as a coach you want to see one more serve. We'll see how that works out. 7-6 I think is correct. It was 7-4 in the timeout and then 2 straight. This point could tie it, or we could cross over at 8-6. We're going to cross over at 8-6.
Points Palm Beach.
So it's the crossover point. Teams are going to trade sides, and I think that score is correct, 8-6. So the team in black in the far court, that is Palm Beach Juniors 13 Elite. The team in white in the near court. And a nice job by Lydia Chinchar, as I don't know if you can see it, but she brought the bags for a lot of her players. I'm calling her an assistant coach, junior assistant coach. Now the parents making the transition. And there's not as many here from OT.
Number 16, Molly Navarrete.
Actually, it looks like a big group of older players from Palm Beach coming in to support the team, and they want to be on the same side. So nice effort by either a 16s or a 17s team to support the youngsters. Walden from the left pin rips it, but it's handled. What a play. Marinelli comes over as a free ball. Another chance to set Walden high in the middle. This time the dig by, I think that was Toredo, and now the dig the other way. Here comes Snyder out of the back row, and she catches the tape. So the defense, Marinelli on one side of the court, back left, and Toredo on the right-hand side. They stopped a couple of good swings. OT now in a little bit of a problem in a deciding set, down 3 with just 6 to play, but they look comfortable. Head coach Doug Chinchar focusing on some setting instructions for number 10, Katie Royals. We'll see if Royals goes to Ellie Walden or if she runs some other kind of play. Now this is that formation where Chinchar becomes a passer in the back row. I think it's Walden in the front row with Thompson. They are going to go out to Walden, and she's dug again. Lucy Marinelli getting everything. And then that ball is hit out. I don't think there was a touch. None seen, and I don't believe there was one. We've got a pretty good view here of certain things over on the right side of the court as you see it. So the server will be Katie Royals at 5-7. Important serves coming up. The tip over from Hodem. And the tip, and it goes down. Allie Walden. She waited a long time to tip that ball. May have stuck to her hand a little bit, but it only went one direction, so I think the call was right. Now a brilliant serve, and it goes off of Marinelli. It goes off of, yes, it goes off of Lucy Marinelli and goes long, and we're all tied at 9. So after the crossover at 8-6, why we are all tied at 9. Will win medals. Which color? Katie Royals, the server, so line judge Catherine Bates keeping the volleyball. And if you're a server, you don't want to touch the volleyball yet. You want it when the line judge gives it to you, and that's exactly what happens in the near court. So the big crowd that went behind us was some of the older players, just a few parents behind each side. Final match of the 13s tournament. Roll shot is blocked out of bounds. What a creative. And now head coach Joy Van Dyke has to be happy because she brings Peyton Bryant back in the front row. Can number 17 lead her team to the gold medal? No MVP given at this age bracket, but it's between Snyder and Bryant, and for the unofficial Coach K MVP. Walden sends it deep, chance to set Bryant, they do. She tips it, good pickup by Royals. And then Walden is dug. Cross court shot, Snyder with a spectacular. And she scores. Palm Beach up 11-9. I'm not sure of the timeout situation. I think Doug Chinchar may have one, but he may not. I should have checked that on the last one. So the servers, 5-1 setter Layla Johnson. Her dad, David, charting stats on the bench. Good up by Snyder. Walden off of the block of Bryant, and she keeps it alive. Able to be sent back. Walden again, and another spectacular dig, Johnson. The Palm Beach defense is the key, and then Bryant pushes down a ball in the plane. Spectacular back row defense by Palm Beach Juniors. Does OT have an answer? They'd like to get Snyder back in the front row, but I think that's at least a rotation away. What a matchup. We had a great final. You know, the 13s are going to win the award for best finals. Tight ball, good tip by Walden, and what body control at the net. Dad was an NBA basketball player, B.D. Walden. And now we're going to get the sub of Key Orbegoso in for Royals. So that means Chinchar's the only setter on the floor in the front row. And Donna Frio with a good serve. Ball going to Bryant on the left pin. There was a tiny volleyball-sized hole in that block, and Bryant found it. And we're getting number 22, Zoe Zudan. So Zudans will be on the right, and Morgan Matson will be on the left, I believe. The setter, Layla Johnson, talking to Bryant. Big serve coming up for Kira Hodum. Snyder with another good pass, and the swing by Warbrick cross court. Chance to set the pin on the left side, and that was touched. A kill by Morgan Matson, and OT is going to have to stage a spectacular comeback to keep Palm Beach from getting the medal. So the server is Hodum. 4 set points coming up. I think Snyder's one rotation from the front row. They need the side out. Good up by Donna Frio. She takes charge. Here comes Walden, but another dig from Johnson, and missing going down the line. So the stage is set. Autumn Martinez Robinson with the serving responsibility. Snyder in the front row. So is Brian, the 2 unofficial Coach K MVPs. Couldn't ask for better drama we had. Got it in 13 open, we got it in 13 national. Great serve, but a perfect pass. Here comes Bryan down the middle, and she scores! Outstanding volleyball from Peyton Bryan. And the dog pile, a brief one because the players are going to shake hands. Lots of Palm Beach Juniors parents coming on. Palm Beach Juniors 13 Elite from the Florida region. Head coach Joy Van Dyke, her assistant Emily Lampman, other assistants David Johnson and Carrie Bryan. They win the gold medal. First gold medal for head coach Joy Van Dyke, and on the bench the club director Terry Kaiser. It's a family affair. Dad Jesse and sons Tristan 6 and Sawyer 1 at home. That's Jesse Van Dyke, son-in-law of Terry Kaiser. That's got to be a happy group. Look at the crowd around them, everybody taking pictures. And on the other side, congratulations, OT13 Elite Doug. Their head coach giving them some instructions, some plans for next year, because Doug Chinchar, Sarah Chinchar, his wife, and their daughter Lydia Chinchar, you can see her to her dad's left in the gray. They got the silver medal. Terrific play. Maddie Snyder, number 4, with a great match. Also Naomi Chinchar, but they come up a little short as the deciding set goes to the team from Palm Beach. So the medals, as that will wrap it up. The Iowa Rockets get a bronze medal, as does Austin Performance. We met one of the grandfathers for the Iowa Rockets, their head coach Rachel Birkland. As we met Jesse Julius's grandpa. His name, I believe, was Greg. And then for Austin Performance Volleyball, they also get a bronze medal under their head coach, Lindsay Rosenthal. And so the silver goes to OT13 Elite Doug, and the gold, her first gold as a coach in 15 years of coaching, is Joy Van Dyke. Palm Beach Juniors 13 Elite. They win it. What a great matchup. We enjoyed bringing it to you. Thanks for watching girls volleyball from the Girls Junior Nationals in Detroit. I'm Coach K. Come back and join us. The big game. Tomorrow I'll have the big game pants. I've had those.